One. Dun, 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 dun. Draft episode 1. Hello. How are
Hey
you
Chris, how you
doing?
doing, bud?
I'm doing well, thank you. Well, we should probably start this off with my name's Chris Beller. You are?
Okay. I'm Dan Park, and I'm Chris's teammate from Scammer. Scammer Gym is SKA School of Kickboxing and Mixed Martial Arts. We mainly do jiu-jitsu together. And yeah, we're just, as the name suggests, we're just fans and we're here to chat.
That's exactly right. We are the ultimate fan chat. And, well, Dan, you already explained it all. We train
Hmm.
together. Dan beats me up, tears my ligaments
No.
apart because he's just a ruthless man.
No. So yeah, we've been training jiu-jitsu for, I've been training for, this will be my 5th year. You'd be about 7?
I've been training since March-ish of 2012,
2012,
so
six
roughly
years.
6 years, just over
Yeah.
6 years. Although I haven't really trained much over the past, year and a half.
Mhm.
Been out on
Yeah,
like just constant knee
2023.
injuries. It's just
Yeah,
been,
how's your knee these days, mate?
it's not bad. Like I
Hmm?
can't really kneel on it. If I kneel on hard
Yeah,
surfaces, like it's in a lot of pain. And
got you.
I can't do too much in cold weather because like I know the joints just they really need to be warmed up before I can do anything.
Yeah,
Like
so
like
winters are
yeah,
good.
winter's a
Uh,
bit difficult. I want to do more of the morning classes, but it's really difficult in the morning because in winter
yeah,
because like I really need to warm up before I do anything.
yeah, got you. Because you start work at 8 and you work right across the gym, so
Yeah, so it works out pretty good. I mean, I just go
mm,
to training and then I walk across the road. It's just the fact of warming my knee up, and before I go, I got to make sure I strap it all up, and that takes me like 15 minutes. So I got to wake up earlier just to do that. I don't like mornings as it is.
no one likes mornings, mate. No one,
No, but I
especially
really
in
don't like
winter.
mornings. Like I really don't like them. Like
I,
everyone else,
I
I
know what you
guess.
mean. I know what you mean. It's just because like you're so comfortable. And once you take out the blanket, you're just like, oh God, no.
Yeah, it's
Because all the
horrible. Man,
yeah.
I've woken up some mornings and I've gotten up completely. I've got my jujitsu gear all ready to go, and I'm
Mm.
like, you know what? It's too cold out. I'm going back to bed. Like I'm looking at my missus just sleeping in bed. She's all comfortable. I'm like, this is just not fair. I'm going back to bed.
That's
It's
got
it's
you.
actually really bad. But no,
Mm.
I'll be getting back into it soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
very
just
soon.
take it easy. Take it easy. And if you want, if anything, just drill. Because right now, my shoulder's fucked, so I'm out. So we can just drill together. Just, guard passing or whatever. Just moves.
Yeah, I
That
reckon we should
that'd
do
be good.
that. Well, we're gonna have heat coming on sometime in the upcoming weeks as well. So I reckon the three of us get together and we can train and we can discuss more of the topics that we want to speak of on this podcast.
100%. 100%. Maybe on this podcast, what we could do is we could look at like fights and, techniques that they did right and maybe, things that they could have done differently or some techniques that are unique. Like Khabib does a lot of unique Khabib and Ben Askren actually. Like
I haven't
it,
watched much of Ben Askren.
you, okay, you need to because his fight game is very different. You watch his fight game and like us, we're jiu-jitsu, right? The first thing we do if we're in side control is look to go to mount. Look to set up submissions, look to control and go advanced position. Whereas what Khabib does and Ben Askren is they ride. They don't look to advanced position. They look to like pretty much stay in half guard, wrap over a wrist, so control wrist, and then start pounding. I was watching one of Khabib's like demonstrations. And like, if you have someone's back, we're taught to straight away put both hooks in. Khabib only puts one in, so if he's controlling the guy's back, he puts, let's say, his left hook in, and then he's gonna hook, how can I say, he's right-handed, and then he's gonna triangle his legs to have like a half guard from back. So have you ever seen the move, the twister that Eddie
Yeah,
Bravo
yeah,
does?
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the half guard from back, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so Khabib has that, And like he did to Michael Johnson, he'll have that one hook in, triangle his legs, hold on to the opposite wrist, and start pounding. So that's very, very different to what we were taught in jits. And Ben Askren does the same thing. He rides. It's very similar to what like Sakuraba did. Like he wouldn't look to get back hooks or anything. He'd just look to ride and ground and pound. So it's a very different style. Their style is like a better version of like Sakuraba's or GSP's or things like that. So it's unique in that sense.
Yeah, no, it is very unique. Well, it's not, is it though? Because it's kind of like it's a wrestling mentality. Like they never really learn all the positions because they're purely wrestling based. So in wrestling, you do wrestling yourself, so I assume you don't learn get your hooks in when you take the back. You're not learning you're not learning half guard or side control or guard or anything like that. The main goal is to ride and then pin their shoulders down, right?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. I didn't think of it like that.
So that's kind of
right.
Because all the people you talk about are wrestlers, and that's their background. So obviously they take that into MMA, and they just, I guess they're showing it a little bit more these days than they used to. The only other place I can kind of think of is maybe Tito Ortiz kind of did from the guard. He only sat in the guard and just pounded the living daylights out of people. And then and then Randy Couture, who only ever passed the half guard, he would never go to side control. Although in saying that, if you think back, you remember of that the first Chuck Liddell fight where it finished off with Randy Couture and Mount just slamming into him against the cage.
Yeah,
you remember that?
That was
so that kind of that was
cool.
Randy Couture sitting in half guard, but he did speak about it a lot how he loved to sit in half guard because sitting in half guard you control that leg. So you're controlling the leg, they can't move out. In guard, they can kind of scoot out, get away. In mount, mount's a lost art these days. People buck out of it pretty easily. You need someone like Luke Rockhold to hold you down to really stay there.
Oh, man. I know what you mean. Like, we were watching that Rama versus Hansley fight in PFL today, and he kept getting Mount. He kept getting back control. Okay, so he kept getting Mount easily in the first round. He looked like he outclassed the guy. And then what was the guy's name? Hansley?
Yes. Brandon Hasley.
Hasley. Brandon Hasley.
Halsey?
Halsey? Whatever. He would keep switching to get to back control. And the guy would just let him. And that's fine to us in jiu-jitsu because back control is better than Mount, in all honesty. In jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It just is.
Well, you'd think so even in MMA because you can flatten him out and pound the shit out of him. Like, think of Matt Hughes and Royce Gracie.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of the most devastating back mount ground and pound ever.
Yeah, and like you were saying, that was sad. They should have not made that fight. But just going back to...
Never happened.
Yeah, that fight should have not happened. We'll go talk to that a bit later. Let's just go back to the Hansley one. Rama had his back and Mount countless times. And going back to what you were saying in regards to how it's kind of a lost art these days. Because back in the day, if you had Mount, that's game over. That's really it. So what is it? Is it guys are getting better at defending it or guys aren't good at it? A combination of both? What was it? Like, he should have been able to finish it because he had that position like 3-4 times.
You're talking about, what's his name?
Rama,
yeah. Well, he at the very end of round one, he pretty much did finish it. If he had like maybe 5 seconds left on the clock, that fight would have been over. Because he tapped like after the bell rang.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually tapped, so it was like, so he kind of did finish it. But I don't know. It's in MMA, you're all sweaty. Like, think of no-gi. When you're rolling no-gi and you're sweaty as hell and you try and lock in a choke, your arms constantly slip out because you can't control anything. And in MMA, you're not allowed to hold the gloves, so obviously you can't use that as a handle. So as you're trying to like slip your arm under the chin, they're constantly like slipping it back out. It's just you'd assume it's easy to slip in because they're sweaty, but it's also just as easy to slip it out. Just like trying to lock onto an armbar in MMA, I always wonder how do they get that because I can't get armbars in no-gi to save my life.
Yeah, I know what you mean because it needs to be a lot tighter, which is how it makes, going back to Ben Askren and Khabib, like that makes them even more impressive Because Khabib destroyed Barboza over 5 rounds of just constant control.
Oh, he crushed him, yeah.
Like,
It did the same with, as you said previously, Michael Johnson.
yeah, and same thing with Kevin Lee. Like that's where you
Wait,
go, oh wow, they're yeah, go on.
Oh, you mean Kevin Lee did that to Barboza?
Yeah, Kevin Lee did that to Barboza too. Like that's
Kevin
when
Lee,
you know these guys are on a different level.
he's someone we needed to devote like an entire chat to Kevin Lee. He's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. Going from losing to Iaquinta into dominating Barboza, and he just wow.
Yeah,
I'm very impressed.
He destroyed Barboza, and if he didn't have that staph infection, who knows what he could have done to Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, he had Mount on Tony.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy
he
shit!
had Mount and was like just laying into him from Mount. It was crazy. And then in that third round, despite how tired he was, he still got the takedown.
Mm.
And Tony Ferguson's a good wrestler. He stopped takedowns from guys like Josh Thompson with ease.
Yeah.
And Josh Thompson's no slouch when it comes to wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Wow. Josh Thompson is someone who's kind of forgotten. Like, he used to be number one back in the day in my books.
It was him and Eves Edwards. They were the two number one guys. And when they fought, it was like that should have been for the title. Remember that?
That knockout.
The second ever head kick knockout in the UFC.
That was amazing. That was such a good.
He put that much force into it. He fell on his ass as he was throwing the kick, but still knocked Josh Thompson out. Got back to his feet and finished the fight. Oh man, that was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, whoa, what's this doesn't happen? What, head kick knockout? You don't see this stuff.
I know there are so many guys who aren't recognizable as they should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's plenty of guys like CM Punk.
CM Punk. Oh my god. I seriously think Duke Roufus fucked him over. Or like, and what I mean by this is they probably like gave him celebrity treatment, or I don't know, but pretty much we've trained, right? We know what's it like to jump in from day one. Maybe it's because he jumped into the fight game old, like at 36.
I think that has a huge part to play in his performance.
Yeah.
How old he is, because he's only been training 4 years and he's already 38, I think. One sec. Continue talking and I'll look it up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? He's been training for 4 years, 2-3 times every day, every week. So there's a time dilation factor in that. Like, for example, when we train, right? We've trained with guys who've been training with us for 4 or 5 years. They train maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. But like where we used to train like crazy, we used to train 3-4 times a week, right? Minimum. There's a time dilation factor. Yeah, minimum. So we'd get much better compared to them because we spend much more time in the gym. So CM Punk, because of that time dilation factor, where he was spending 2-3 times a day, every day of the week, that's the equivalent of training like maybe, I don't know, like more like 8 years, 6 years. It's insane how bad he looked. I couldn't believe it. I honestly believe that if I had CM Punk, I would do a better job at him. If he paid me like 50 grand a year. Like, he looked that bad. It's insane.
I think the age factor, I'm just looking at his age right now, he's 39, so he started training 4 years ago, so he would have been 35. Imagine starting MMA at 35 to fight in the UFC.
Yeah, I think you're right. Age factor played a
and the fact he doesn't have an athletic background. He's not like a Brock Lesnar who was such a ridiculous like college wrestler, and then comes in and also juice to the tits, and then to come into to MMA. He's like this is just an average. Like I was talking to my missus about it. I'm like, that's how I would expect me to look if I went to fight in the UFC. Just an average
No,
a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and then
no. It's not just a little bit of jiu-jitsu. Like CM Punk, sorry to cut you off, but I highly disagree with you. Okay. Number one, Mike Jackson, he was in CM Punk's guard, right? The first thing we learn, if you look at my life, the first thing we learn, if we have someone in our guard, And his posture wasn't that strong. The first thing we learned is they try to rain down punches, clamp, bang, pull them in straight away. Get hooks, overhook, and then, head control. CM Punk did none of that. He just went bang and just held them there. And it wasn't because Mike Jackson was resisting it or he wasn't doing any of that. Like, I can see it. CM Punk just wasn't trying to do the most fundamental thing that we're taught. Like, if Mike Jackson was in your guard, you would have swept him because you know what to do. You know to straight away, like I roll with you, and straight away you get your grips, bang, overhook. You're controlling my head, or you're grabbing my collar. You're controlling me. CM Punk did none of that. He was like raining down punches from guard like this, and I'm going, "What are you doing, mate? How are you a blue belt?" It's like it's not the same thing.
No, it was pretty bad. But there's a number of factors that could have played into that. He could have been nerves could have been a huge factor. I mean,
true.
Like when we've competed. Well, I feel as though your competition, like when you compete, you're a completely different person to me. Like you compete and you show a better version of yourself. But I know for myself, when I compete, I go out there and I freak out and I forget very basic things. Like I've been swept with the most ridiculous of sweeps. I've been choked with chokes that that I've never been caught with in training. That I should never ever be caught with ever. I've been caught with wrist locks that I should never ever catch me in any situation. But because of the pressure that I'm under, I'm looking around like, oh shit, I've got friends out there, I've got family out there watching me, everyone's cheering me. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of, okay, someone's putting a choke on, I should grab the wrist, I should pull it down, I should put it around my head. I'm thinking, holy shit, I don't want to lose. And because that's what I'm thinking, that's what happens.
That's hindering your ability. Yeah, got you. So you're not, as you mentioned, you're not really thinking. Things aren't processing.
So
as you're going,
like it's hard to think that nerves could affect someone like that because of the fact that he was such a big star. But
it's true. It's true. Yeah, I get it. I 100% do. I 100% too. Like, just going back to what I was saying before, which reminded me of something hilarious. Didn't someone get disqualified for trying to knee bar you?
Yes. Yes. Actually, you know what? My sister's right here, and she was there for that comp. Where, you remember when that guy knee barred me and he got disqualified?
Yeah.
And then he decided to post the fake victory up on Facebook, and then all you guys from Scammer destroyed him. It was brutal.
Oh my god.
Anyways, anyone that might watch this is my sister, Gabrielle. Hello, sister.
Hi, Gabrielle. I'm Dan. Can she see me?
Oh yeah, that's Dan. That's Dan Park.
Hello.
Yes, handsome Dan Park.
Thanks. I'll take it.
I use very dirty terminology to describe you, Dan. I'm sorry. Peace out, Gabs. Anyway, so go on with what you're saying, sorry.
Yeah, we were talking about CM Punk, and I could not believe my eyes. How he looked it looked like he had very bad control of his body. He didn't know how to...
Yes, yeah, that's a good
You know what I mean? It looked very clunky.
Everything he threw looked very clunky, like throwing punches. Like the kicks that he was throwing, his body was spinning in a weird way, and then I don't know, it was very awkward to watch. It's expected from like an average Joe who started training at 35.
Got you.
And who is straight edge, so he isn't on all the jacked up supplements. He isn't he isn't on the Vitor Belfort TRT shake.
Yeah, I was very disappointed because CM Punk was like my hope. Going, you know what? You can take an average Joe, because he had a world-class training. You can't take an average Joe. You give him world-class training, he'll be good. But I guess I'm wrong.
I think this is something like it's an important lesson to take away from like that fight as well. The fact that not anyone can do this.
Yeah,
this isn't a sport that's just because you want to take it up that you can take it up. Just because you've got a lot of money and you can give it to the right people, they can make you into a monster. That's not how it works. You have to be a certain type of person.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I think it definitely some good came out of it, which I thought was that you really need to be a certain type of athlete, and and you have to have like just a different mentality to go out there and really perform.
I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I think that it's not that you're born with it. I think it's when you're young that you go into sports and you develop these, athletic ability, as opposed to someone who doesn't go into sports. Do you get what I'm saying? Like if you get twins, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
agree with that. I
so-
didn't mean for it to come across as you have to be born a certain way. That I mean, like, yeah, just a certain type of person, like whether you're brought up a certain way or whether you do have certain genetic,
yes,
like someone like Yoel Romero. That's not
yeah,
something you
yeah.
have to
That's
be
not a
born a
normal
certain
person.
way to look like that at that age, and also be
Yeah,
juiced to the tits.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
and even if you, yeah, sorry to cut you off. And even if you grab someone and juice them to the tits, he's not going to look like Yoel.
no. Well,
That's a different
look at
kind of
Chael
human.
Sonnen. He always talks about how he had a high juice count than Tropicana.
I
But
remember that. I remember that.
he didn't look like Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
He looked good, but he did not look like Yoel Romero.
Hmm.
So it doesn't. It's some genetics do come into play with it as well.
Yes. Yes.
And
I think, yeah, I think you can get anyone and make them like a UFC caliber, like high class fighter, but you can't necessarily turn them into a champion. You need to be born with some, like you were saying before, natural abilities and talents.
yeah, and you have to be brought up a certain way as well, as you were saying, like in
Mm.
sports. And I know
Yeah.
you also like the way you're brought up. I guess you have to have a different kind of mentality when it comes to like pain, like when you get hit. Like some people, when you get hit, you freak
Hmm.
out and you clam up. Oh,
Hmm. Hmm.
look at that. Sexy
That
bit
is
of
true.
bass. Oh, you distracted
Now I
me with
just
that sexy
realized my
bass.
phone's not charging.
Oh, that's not good. All
That's
right.
not good at all.
No,
All right,
you'll
let's
you'll
try.
you'll just disappear on me and be like, I'm so lonely.
I'm Mr. Lonely. One sec. Let me find a charger, mate. Ah.
All right, did you want me to stop this recording? Pause the. Oh wait, no. If I stop, it'll stop for good.
Fuck it. Let's keep going. Fuck it. I got 17% chance.
Oh man, quickly run off
One
and find
sec.
your charger. Maybe we can edit it
All
later on.
right, I'll be back. Just
All
give me a
right.
sec.
So Romri and Sadri.
All right. I'm back, my friend. Let's take a look if this works. Mhm. Question: how are you there, mate?
I am here. I'm always here for you.
Thanks. So, how are you, or how are we, going to market this thing? That's going to be interesting.
Well, that's why I
There
thought
we
we
go.
should
It's
all catch
charging.
up. That's why I want us to all catch up
Hmm.
because I feel as though Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are things that need to be made.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And
Not a bad idea.
once again, the whole copyright thing. I'm not sure how we organize that, but that'll probably have to
Hmm.
be something that we look at because the last thing we want is to put in all this effort. And because I think the name of this chat is actually really cool, I don't want anyone to take that away either.
Yeah, I agree. And on the off chance the one viewer we get
Yeah, exactly.
has some nose in marketing,
Well,
yeah,
I'm sure
hit
that
us up, mate.
I'm sure that one person watching is going to be a family member that we forced to watch as well.
That's, that is true. Yeah, actually, that's probably how it works. Hit up family members, and they'll be like, "Ah,
Got to start somewhere, man.
it's all right."
We'll have
Hmm.
to. I don't know. We might start in the group chat as well. Make sure they all pass it on. Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, I'd be embarrassed.
I
So,
know.
for some context to our viewers, the group chat is we have a group chat for some of the founding. I don't know, like the members of Scamma, which is our gym. And so, Scamma School of Kickboxing and Mixed Martial Arts. And yeah, we just have some banter and just talk shit. So,
A lot of shit. Like a lot of
yeah.
shit gets spoken. Maybe too. No, not. You can never speak too much shit. Anyways, let's go back to what we're talking about.
Mhm.
We'll continue
What
to
were we
talk. Yeah, we're talking about CM Punk. I think still about like what it takes to get in there. But we'll talk about.
Yeah,
I think you, me, and Peter need to catch up and actually discuss the whole marketing process properly.
100%. I agree. I agree.
Because yeah, that's
Mm.
obviously the ideas of social media. I feel like that's a given.
Hmm, hmm. I agree. Just going back to the group chat, I was thinking about it, and just at the gym, what I really like, because in our group chat we have like a cop, we have guys who like do all different fields of work and interests. But it's really interesting that we're all mates because we have one thing in common, which is gym.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's really cool, to rock up to gym and you're talking to a cop and then you're talking to someone. Everyone's different in a sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
At
Yeah,
one,
it's cool.
at one point, we had a gay fucking porn star. We had a gay porn
We
star. We had
did.
no fucking
We
clue.
had
Hardcore gay porn star.
Yes.
No clue at all.
That. Oh my god, that was cool. I thought
That's
for some reason I
hilarious.
thought that was the coolest scene when we all found out that like, oh my god, we are
That's
training
just,
with a gay porn star.
that's a
What?
story to tell, man.
That is a story to tell, man. It's a story to tell your children about your grandchildren. Back in my day, I trained with a gay porn star. We rode around
We used to
together.
cuddle. I had a gay porn star in between my butt cheeks,
Oh god.
and I would invite him, come here, come to
Between your butt cheeks. Okay, I think you're going a bit far. Why'd you have him
my
between your
God.
ass cheeks? Between your legs, maybe?
That's-
That makes sense.
Oh fuck! We had to go literal, mate. We had to go literal.
We did.
So for some people who don't know what we're talking about, in jiu-jitsu, there's a position called guard. It's one of the most dominant positions in Brazilian jiu-jitsu because it's relatively safe.
Most
You
dominant.
hold them here.
Not really dominant. It's more neutral.
Oh, it's one of the
Depending on
more
who you
dominant.
are.
It's not. I want to say neutral because if someone's in your guard, they can't really do anything to you. They can't sweep you. They can't really do much. They have to get out of guard. There's not much you can do. Whereas the guard player, they can sweep, they can choke, they can armbar, they can submit. They have a lot more options. So it's not neutral in that sense.
Hmm.
In jiu-jitsu, it's a more dominant position. Having close guard, it really is.
I feel like in gi, it's a more dominant position because you can really grab onto the lapel and break
Yes.
past you. You can grip the
Yes,
sleeves a lot
100%.
more. But in no-gi, I feel like it's well, unless you're like a Damien Meyer off your back, then it can be a very dominant position. But if you I don't know, if you're just a regular black belt being on your back, it's not the same. It's very
Oh well,
it's very difficult
what's
because you don't have your grips.
Oh, okay. I think we're having a bit of mistranslation here. What I mean is, the guy who has the guard is better off than the guy in the guard. That's what I mean. I mean, the power dynamics aren't
Oh yeah,
50-50.
yeah. Well, while you're in guard, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But, it's,
So yeah,
but obviously on top, you've still got the option to pass, and if you're a solid passer, I mean, guard's
yeah,
nothing.
but you still have to pass.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else really.
Yeah,
You still have to get out of
You
guard.
have to pass, yeah. Which is why when you're listening to Joe Rogan commentate the UFC and he's talking about why doesn't he pass? Why doesn't he pass? He can't do anything from here. Like, because your
Yeah.
punches don't have as much gusto on them. They don't have as much power because you're so much further back.
Yeah, and the guy in the guard can control.
Yeah,
Control.
yeah.
So if you're going for punch control,
Yeah,
Well-
if you throw a punch, they can pull you forward, and your punches you're not going to have any accuracy on your punches. You're not going to have anything, well, unless you're
yes.
in CM Punk's guard, and you can solo punch
Yeah.
and do whatever the hell Jackson was doing.
Because the guy in guard can have control to some degree the other person. But in MMA is different. I think it's 50-50. No, I think it's more the guy in the guard has a better power dynamic in MMA. It's different because he can punch. So, yeah. But anyways, going back to that, what we're talking about was, so this is guard. You have the person in between your guards so you can control them. Clamp in, control them. And so, yeah, this is what we used to do. Like, pretty much for a year or two. We had this gay porn star that we had hardcore gay porn star that we had no idea about. And I was just like, come here, mate. Come on, let's do this.
Just get on
No.
top, you big man.
Exactly. So it was surprising once we found out. I was like, oh, wow. But it was weird because I wasn't Yeah, I still rolled him too. But
Make sure I
like
triangled him. As soon as I found that out, I'm like, yep, triangle, make you nice and close and cozy to my nutsack.
uh, but
That's how I
yeah,
like to
it
do it.
was it was interesting. A bit of interesting trivia.
There we go. Bit of fun. It was definitely a bit of fun. All right, so we should probably get back on track. So
All right,
okay, so we passed the CM Punk.
MMA.
MMA, yes. Okay, so
Speaking of
should we
someone,
should we start talking about
go on.
PFL now?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to talk about. Speaking of someone, unlike CM Punk, who comes from a huge credentials, and
I
how
knew
can I
you
say
wanted
the
to go
most
straight to
decorated.
this.
She's the only reason I watch, man. She's the most decorated Olympic American. Has, 2 Olympic medals. That's never been done before for an American woman or man, actually. I think America never had an Olympic gold medal before that. And it was insane. Kayla Harrison, she debuted at lightweight, 155 pounds. She competed at 78 kilos, 170 pounds in the Olympics. So she is a big girl, and she's jacked.
Yeah,
I was looking at her arms. I'm like, wow.
Oh man, yeah, she.
Did you
Yeah,
see the
that was
fight?
crazy. Yeah, keep on talking. I'm actually gonna pull up a photo of her now.
Holy cow. Like, I was so impressed because, okay, I saw it. I do striking. So I saw her striking. Her striking, even though she didn't show much of it at all, because she went the Rousey route in the early day, which is just bull rush the person into the cage, clap onto them, get the clinch, where her credentials pretty much are unmatched. She has a red belt. Was awarded a red belt.
Oh wow.
In judo, a red belt. She's not a black belt anymore. She's a red belt. Like Hickson has a red belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Royce Gracie doesn't have a red belt yet. She was
tell you-
awarded a red belt.
I
Yeah,
tell
go
you
on.
what though, like, sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, all good.
But looking at her physique, it really is like it's a bigger version of Ronda Rousey. Like if you like the very like big shoulders, big arms, because Ronda Rousey she had a pretty decent physique on her as well. Not
Yes,
as defined,
Ronda
like her
was-
arms weren't nearly, her
Yes.
shoulders weren't nearly as defined, but it's a very similar physique. I guess
Yeah,
that's-
Ronda was defined, but
She's
holy
very
shit, she's just bigger.
Yeah, she's huge, man. Huge. If she grabbed a hold of me, I'd go flying for days. I'd never
Like-
hit the ground.
Watching, did you see the Megan Harrison Holly Holm fight?
You mean Megan?
Megan Anderson, sorry. Megan Anderson
Yes,
and
I
Holly
did see
Holm.
that. I did see that.
Holly Holm controlled Megan Anderson.
I think that says something about
Imagine
Megan
what
Anderson's
Kayla would
strength
do
game.
to her.
Sorry?
Imagine what Kayla would do to her.
Oh, kill her.
Yeah.
She'd be dead. If you got Holly Holm taking you down, I think Kayla's gonna. She's not gonna take you down. She's gonna slam you down.
Yes,
The
exactly.
submission will be the takedown.
But yeah, going back to Kayla and her striking looked very iffy, but we didn't get to see much of it. And she actually copped a few punches coming into the clinch. She went bang, bang, and still bull rushed the woman. So against Cyborg, that wouldn't really work, but it's understandable. It's Kayla's first fight.
I don't know. It might work against Cyborg. Cyborg gets very close with her strikes as well. I mean, she's not, even though she's a Muay Thai striker, she does a lot of boxing. Like she does throw kicks, and she does clinch up a bit, and that's what got her into trouble with that hot blonde chick that she fought recently. Because she had her up against the cage, and she was laying into her with fists. She wasn't throwing any knees, wasn't throwing any kicks, wasn't throwing anything like that. Just throwing punches, and then she got taken down with an ankle pick.
Correct.
A very flimsy ankle pick. Was it an ankle pick? I'm pretty sure it was an ankle pick. Like a very flimsy one. Like the chick just kind of dropped. She was kind of going down from a knockout, and she went for that ankle pick.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Anastasia. Like, if Anastasia can do that, but
imagine what Kayla will do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Maybe. But what Kayla would do is, you watch the Holly and Cyborg fight. Holly controlled Cyborg in the clinch, and Holly is much smaller than Cyborg. But then the context is different because Cyborg doesn't really care that Holly's clinching onto her because she goes, "Oh yeah, what the fuck she's gonna do to me."
Well,
Whereas the context
she wasn't doing anything to her. He was just holding her.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the
Because
issue.
there's no sense of danger. There's no sense of danger. Whereas maybe she'd be different if she fought Ronda, who's like, oh, fuck, I'm the clinch. I need to fuck off. Or like Kayla, yeah, clinch, not happening.
Mm.
So who knows? But I was very impressed. She did the same thing like Ronda did. She went bang, straight away into the foot sweep. The same exact combination that Ronda did.
Really, I missed a bit of that. I didn't get to see it very well.
Got you.
I was kind of working. But,
that's fine, man.
I'm going to have to watch it again so I can fully understand what you mean.
Yeah, but the difference was, like, watch some of Ronda's old fight. But the difference was Ronda would aggressively attack the armbar, whereas Kayla was just straight away went to ground and pound. She's all bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, fuck, that's impressive. Like, and also the armbar that she did, where she looked like she was stuck. You know, she had like a belly down armbar. That wasn't on you. You did see it, right?
Yeah, I saw the armbar. I didn't see the takedown. I saw the armbar.
Okay, so you saw the armbar. She was belly down, and then she had her foot over, and then she repositioned her foot over her head to put pressure down. So initially, when you do an armbar, you put both their feet over the person's, you know, you got the arm, it's over on the tricep area, over the head, over the body, so you can finish it. What Kayla did was she got her foot away from the head, put it on the back of the head to push down, to clamp down, put pressure so that the opposition, the other lady's head, would go down, her hips go up and sweep her to get her into end belly up, traditional armbar. And that was really cool because I rarely see people do that. And that showed like really high level, I was going to say jiu-jitsu, but, you know, submission grappling.
Well, it's judo. That's a judo move, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
The armbar is very judo specific.
Yeah, well, basically, not these days, but pretty much all the moves that we get from jiu-jitsu are from judo because, like, jiu-jitsu comes from judo. So, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because the teachers of the people, you know, who taught. So basically, the people who created Brazilian jiu-jitsu learned from a judo guy, from a judo teacher, and then they started emphasizing on the ground. And judo went the own way and started emphasizing stand-up. So would you say the difference between judo and jiu-jitsu? I was talking this with a mate later. He's like, what's the difference? And what I said was like, judo is 90% stand-up, takedown, whereas jiu-jitsu, and, you know, 10% groundwork. Whereas jiu-jitsu is 90% groundwork and 10% takedown, really. Would you say that's kind of right, or?
Yeah, as far as my understanding goes, that's pretty much it. But I haven't actually watched any judo enough. Well, I haven't watched enough judo to fully understand what the rules are and how it all works. But yeah, it's mostly you shoot like you're not shooting for it. Well, you're clinching up and taking people down, and that's where the majority of the points and the finishes come from. Like you assume you throw them down, and that's. Wait, so how does it work? Because I've seen a few judo matches end because someone gets a takedown. And then they just walk off like, yes, I won. But some people go for the takedown. They get the takedown. They go for an armbar. Like, don't.
Yeah.
I assume
we'll go back to that. Yeah, we'll go back to that a bit later. Let's just go back to Harrison. We're kind of going off topic. We'll go back to it after we're done. It's Kayla Harrison. But what were your thoughts? Because I was I'm into the hype. I'm looking at it. I'm like, fuck, she's the future. That's what I think.
Well,
she's swole. She's gonna fuck Cyborg up. She's 26. She's 26. How?
Yeah, 27. Yeah, she just turned 27.
Wait,
no, she turns 28 on the 2nd of July.
What? Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
how old is Cyborg?
She's 5. She's also 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
So how tall is
5'8"? I don't know, but all I know is these are two big women who I want to see fight in the future.
At the
Kayla
moment,
Harrison right now.
At the moment, should get her ass absolutely handed to her.
Yeah.
But that's expected.
Yeah,
like, how many fights has Cyborg had? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Type in Cyborg would ask me if I want to know the definition. No, I don't want to know the definition.
If they fight 4 or 3 years from now, Cyborg will be going down, whereas Kayla's hitting her peak. Cyborg will be
Yeah,
3-7,
if they do
3-6.
end up fighting, it'll be at the perfect time where it'll be like a passing of the torch, where Kayla will be getting the rub off
Yes.
like a big name to
Yes.
put her over, kind of like a Francis Ngannou knocking out Andre Arlovski
Alistair.
or
Or Andre.
Alistair.
Yeah.
Like those two wins are what put him over, even though like most people that normally watch would be like, okay, well, he he just knocked out two old guys. It's
Mm.
kind of different, but yeah. So it'll be a similar situation by the time they finally fight.
Yeah, passing of the torch, like Rich Frank and Ken Shamrock. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Tito
that's a perfect
Ortiz, Ken
example.
Shamrock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
She's
yeah,
like
it's
she's had 22 MMA fights, Cyborg, so she's got a little bit
mm.
of an experience advantage.
Oh, a little bit. A huge one, mate. A huge one.
She's
But
got
yeah, give it
three
Kayla
Muay
4 years.
Thai fights. She fought that Joanna Bars, no,
Mm.
Jorina Bars, who lit her
Oh,
up.
yeah. I was so sad. She did so bad at an MMA. I was so sad.
Who that?
Joanna Bars.
Really?
Yeah, she has 1 win and 3 losses in MMA.
Oh yeah,
She
I'm looking at
got
that.
destroyed. Basically, straight away, bang. She lost to Cindy Dandiolis, who's a internet meme due to her terrible striking.
Really?
Do you know Cindy?
No, I don't know.
You need to see this, mate. You need to see this.
You gonna
Oh my
be
god.
sending it to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Cindy, gentlemen, make yourself a favorite. Type in Cindy Dandiolis can't be touched. It's one of the funniest things in the world.
Yeah, I've already found her on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is life, just saying.
So I don't know if you can show everyone this, but it's the funniest thing. All right.
I don't know how to show it, but I'll. Oh,
all right, wait.
Music is
Where's
playing.
Skype? How do I send it to Skype? Oh, I'll send it to you on Facebook. Tell me how funny is this?
Facebook.
And we'll go back to Kayla after this, and you know what your thoughts were, because I love the chick. I'm looking forward to her career. Tell me when you start with this, so I can.
She fought in the UFC.
Yeah, she fought in the UFC. She's beaten Megan Anderson. She has a good resume, but just watch her striking, mate. Pretty much, she's a. Yeah, just watch, mate.
That's the background music is Robert Whittaker's walkout music.
Yes. You watching now?
Yeah, her head's all the way up in the air. She's throwing her right. Yeah, that music. Oh god, she's got her head all the way up in the air.
Look at that! Look at that! Joanna Bars, one of the greatest kickboxers in the world ever, lost to Cindy.
Well, Cindy must have taken her down.
And not
Alexis Davis is having a hard time here.
And she didn't lose by submission. She lost by TKO. She got taken down and bang, which shows Joanna Bar's level of grappling. It's terrible.
Well, yeah, she's a Muay Thai chick, so it makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this. This is like watching CM Punk fight again.
Pretty much, man. All right, so going back to Kayla Harrison, what do you think, mate?
Well, that's the problem is, like, as I told you, when I was watching these fights, I was at work, so I had it in the background. From what I saw, like, I saw her rushing in to get the clinch. I saw she copped a lot of punches. She didn't really have much striking, if any. She kind of just ran and absorbed the punches, similar to Ronda Rousey when Ronda Rousey. What fight was it? It was. Oh no, that's a bad example. I was thinking of her. Who was the Brazilian chick that she fought? It was a big fight. She shouldn't have been fighting her.
Amanda?
No.
Beth Correia?
Yes, Beth Correia. When she fought Betchka
Mm.
and she just ran forward into the punches and threw punches back, and then
Yeah.
luckily got the knockout because she was about to get knocked out.
Oh, she wasn't gonna get knocked out. Beth Correa is not.
Betchka Hayes got a few wins
Yeah.
from TKO. She can, if you get hit,
Yes, but
she
that's
doesn't.
because of volume. That's because of volume. She didn't. She's not a one punch knockout person, which is what allowed Rousey to just absorb it and come back to her.
Yeah, well, that's,
Because Rousey is a one punch knockout
I'm not
person.
saying she is a one punch person, but she like Ronda Rousey copped a hell of a lot of punches when she ran in on Betchka Hayes, and like you saw her face, it was all blooded up at the end of the fight. The fight only went for 30
Mm.
seconds, but Ronda Rousey's face was all red. She had a blood nose
Yeah.
because she ran into the punches and she stood there with her head up, square, throwing punches like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And then she just
Mhm.
luckily got the knockout before she got knocked out. She landed more
Yeah.
punches before Betchka Hayes landed more punches. But I don't
So
know, just
that's what.
the way she ran in reminded me of that. And then after that, when
Yes,
everyone was
I
talking about
agree.
Cain Velasquez, she could knock Cain Velasquez out.
Now I agree. Kayla reminded me a lot of Ronda,
Mm.
and I hope she becomes a better version, or not even a better version. She becomes her own self. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. She's won her first fight via armbar, and she's a judo practitioner, so she's obviously going to be compared to Ronda Rousey no matter what. That's just
Mm.
that's just how it's going to be. But yeah, her fight from what I saw, so she ran in, copped a hell of a lot of punches, ended up getting the good old clinch cuddle and took her down. I didn't see the takedown unfortunately, but I saw the
Mhm.
armbar. And I did like the belly down armbar. I thought it was a bit risky, but obviously
Yes.
that's a that's a, that's something she's very confident in, and she got it.
Yes. That's how
Which
she won her second gold medal.
yeah, well, that's also in a gi.
That's true. That's true. And
Gis
like you were
change
saying
everything.
before, yes, yes, it does.
Gis change everything. So that's what I was kind of worried about in the very first fight on a big stage, going for a belly down armbar. Although they weren't sweaty yet,
Mm.
I was watching. Oh, that's scary, but she got it. So I can say whatever I want. She got it. But yeah, I
Mm.
did like it. I liked the way she went for it, and then obviously belly down, scooped the leg, swept her over, and
Mhm.
then finished it off. I didn't get to. I was trying to watch, man. It upsets me. I was gonna watch this. I was gonna watch the fight again before we started this chat, but
That's fine.
I
Take your
didn't get the
time.
time. I didn't get to see the way she broke the grip, but I assume she broke it in the Ronda Rousey manner where she grabbed up high on the wrist and then fell down
Yes.
close to the
Yes.
head and then span it all the way back. I
Yeah.
assume that's how she did it because that's where I learnt my
Yeah.
armbar. I like my
100%.
armbars from her and actually Clay. Clay's taught me a
Hmm.
lot with armbars, but yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's.
fantastic. She did exactly what she needed to do. She needed to go out there. She needed to have like a dominant performance if you want to create a name from
Yes, I agree. I agree because
from
she
such
could
an
have.
athletic
Yeah, go
background.
on.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
had such an athletic background and two gold medals. You don't want to walk in and have an Aaron Pico. You want to walk in.
Yeah.
You want to destroy.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
they Aaron Pico, that's another story. They put him up against a 17-3 guy. I mean, I don't know what they were
Yeah.
thinking.
I'm very impressed with Aaron. Like his later fights, I'm very, very much. But just going back to Kayla, I hope they take care of her and not go the Aaron Pico route. Like it could have been really easy for her to go out there. Just going back to what you were saying and about creating a name, and actually probably from a fighter's perspective would have been better for her in terms of experience and cage experience to just go out there and have a feel. Let it finish to 3 rounds. Let all 3 rounds finish just to get that cage side experience. But just like you said before, to create a name for herself, she needed to go out there and starch this chick. It's exactly what she did.
Mm.
I'm bought in. I'm very
Oh,
impressed.
I know you're
I
bullied, man. You've
really
been
am.
talking about it all day until we've started up this chat. You're balls deep in this idea.
Yes. Like I honestly think she could be the future. Like wow.
Well, hopefully,
Going.
if she continues on with like just continue, but they need to do it slowly. They can't do it as
Yes,
quick as
I
they did
agree.
Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey got to the top. She thought she was top shit. Then she fought Holly Holm thinking that she could strike the best kickboxers in the world. When it turns out that well, no, her bread and butter is grappling. Stick to what you know.
Yes,
But
I agree with that.
oh,
I think they should take care of her.
yeah,
Go out the old, Japan can crushing, bang, bang, crush those cans, Kayla, crush them until you
Kayla the
become
Can Crusher.
a
That's
killing
I like
machine.
that. I like that. But that's you got to grow. I mean, Dana White used to always talk about they're trying to move away from the boxing model, but the boxing model has it right in terms of building them up
Yes.
slowly. Give them a whole bunch of
Yes, I
nobodies.
agree.
Just
I
just
agree.
just throw in fat slobs against them, and get them to just, as you said, can crush. That's you need that
100%.
experience. Getting in the cage and fighting in front
100%.
of people, that's a nerve-wracking thing. As I said, competition, we've both competed. You go out there, it's scary, man. It is incredibly scary.
Yes.
You need to get
You don't know
those
what to
bad vibes out.
expect.
Sorry?
Sorry, you don't know what to expect. Sorry to cut you off. Like, you don't know the opponent. You don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? So you're saying you need to know,
Sorry? So,
like, you were saying about we competed, and it's very scary. It's very intimidating. You're talking about that.
yeah, we've both competed, and we've competed on a very small, like very low level, just like
Yes.
jiu-jitsu competitions, which is nothing. And like
Hmm.
going out into a cage, and like
Yes.
well, you've done boxing and whatnot, so like getting
Mhm.
like copping punches, copping elbows, copping knees, but in front of a big crowd as well. It's PFL, like it's a smaller show to UFC and Bellator, but it's still a big show. I mean, going out there, you don't want to be put up against like the top, like another top chick too early. You want to build your uh, continuing to your original point, can crushing. You
Um,
wanted to crush cans for at least another 10 fights
yeah, I agree. I agree. I
and
think
have
that
more
fights might
fights.
be a bit much for MMA. So go on. You're going to say something?
Yeah, sorry. And have more fights a year. Like put her up against Can,
Yes, I
but
agree.
have like
I
say
agree.
4 fights minimal a year. Like just
Yes.
crush
Put her
cans,
up.
get a whole bunch of first round
Yes.
finishes. Whatever you need to do,
Yes.
just crush. Just keep on going. Just
Yes.
don't put her up against
Put
top
up on.
contenders, and then she
Yes.
gets super injured, and then she's out for like another year, and because she's what? She's 27, she's 28
Yes.
in a week or so.
Actually, you can't do 10 fights because say PFL puts up four
Yeah,
what do you call
true,
it,
true,
four
true.
fights a year, and you put on every single one against cans. That's there you go, 2 years and a half. That's 10 fights already.
And she's gonna be 30.
And
So
then you can start.
I don't know when
Uh,
the physical peak is
should
for
be yeah,
females. I know for males it's around 30, but I know it's different for
yeah,
females.
30, and then starts to die down. I
Yeah,
don't know for females either. But going back to what you were saying before, you're right. I think the model boxing model is correct. It's the right way to bring someone up. Like you look at Cody Gambria, like
Cody
10
Garbrandt.
fight, he's already a champ. Yeah, 10 fights, he's already a champ. Whereas in boxing, you can have 30 fights, but you're nowhere near ranked because you fought nobodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
That's an
yeah.
extreme
That's
example. But yeah.
Yeah, MMA is weird like that. How people can have so little fights and they get brought up incredibly quickly and they end up beating some of the top guys. So I don't know. Maybe MMA does have it right, but I feel like they burn out a lot quicker as well.
Yes, I agree. 100%. They're
I mean,
training so
Cody.
much, they're always injured. Go on.
Yeah, well, Cody only had one. He didn't even defend his title because he got put up to that top spot so quickly and defended his title well, actually, no, that was about a year afterwards because he had back injuries, but he lost that title straight away.
And the guy's riddled with injuries. Like something's wrong with the spine, and he only has 10 fights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And that's because he was put
it's
up
different.
against top guys so quickly. That's what happens. You get
Yeah.
put up against the best of the best, you're going to get injured, even if you get a quick knockout. I mean, you've
Hmm.
put yourself through such a like vigorous training camp to prepare for this absolute animal. You're going to get injured
Yeah.
during that training camp. You get majority of your injuries during training, not in the cage.
Yes. 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 100%. I agree.
Unless you're Tim
100%.
Sylvia defending an armbar against Frank Mir,
Man,
then you don't even feel it.
Hank broke so many arms. Anyways, just going back. Jesus Christ. Like I even asked coach. I remember like years ago. I asked coach. I was like, I like. I was. You wanted me to fight. I remember coach asking me. Remember when we
Which
had
coach is
that
this?
Clay?
Oh yeah.
So Clay is our head coach. Uh, so remember when we had that event that we did Gloves for Glory? Like we, Ascama hosted event like full of Scama fighters on one side, like other fighters on the other side from other gyms.
No, I don't remember
Gloves
that.
for Glory. Do you remember? Well, we had that event, and it was basically boxing and MMA. And coach was like, "Dan, you ready? We're gonna jump in." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Thank you, but I'm nowhere near ready." I'm like, "No," because yeah, it's scary. Like it really is. And in all honesty, I wasn't anywhere near ready because at that time I wasn't even doing wrestling. I was doing, what do you call it? I was doing stand up part time, and what else? Doing stand up part time, and I wasn't even that good at jits. Like in all honesty, like I would destroy myself now if I rolled myself. So
You should hope so.
yeah, I would hope so. So it's like I have really nothing going for me. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not jumping into a fight. Fuck that.
How long have you been training for at that point?
Oh, that would have been 2 years, I think. It was a while ago. I think 2 years.
That would have just been an amateur fight, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you wear
It was all
amateur fights. You still wear like shin guards and you wear headgear.
yeah. No headgear. No headgear.
Mm.
For MMA, no headgear. I think the boxing guys wore headgear.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense for MMA because obviously you're going to go for a guillotine or something like that, and you got that big ass headgear on. But yeah, they wear shin guards. I know that because I remember watching JC or James Matthews. I remember watching his fights.
Yes.
Man, I wish he got back into it. He was good.
What happened?
He was just a brute, an absolute brute.
Pretty much went the Rousey, Kayla Harrison way. He just bull rushed the guy, bang, take down, choke.
Yeah, pretty much, man, pretty much. He had some kickboxing fights as well. But his bread and butter was that jiu-jitsu, man. As soon as he got a hold of people, he just muscled them, took them down, and then just strangled them. It was the best. Or he did get a in his first fight. What was it, a knee bar or a heel hook or?
No, I was there. He didn't have a knee bar or heel hook. He choked.
Oh, did he choke? I thought he got his feet. Okay.
No, I watched it. So pretty much his first fight, like I was so heavy-hearted, like holy shit. Like they got into a fight. Well, they got into the fight, and the guy just starts throwing solid punches over under, and starts absolutely lighting up James. And at that point, James didn't. I was there live ringside, mate. Did you? You saw on video, right?
Yeah, because he told me like literally an hour before the fight that he had a fight on that night. I was like, you arsehole.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there ringside. And that's why I'm saying I was so heavy-hearted. Like, holy shit, I felt like I was crying. Like, he just starts lighting up James. James drops down for a single. James drops down for a single, holds onto the leg, can't get the finish, and the guy just goes, like, James holding on the leg here, the guy just goes bang, 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 bang. Like, a lot of unanswered blows. And for amateur fight, I think maybe it should have been stopped. That's why I was saying I had a heavy heart, because I saw my mate basically getting bashed.
Yeah.
But then the guy got kind of tired, and James straight away took him down, got the back, and fucking choked him. And he started screaming, and I went, it was insane. I lost my voice.
So excited.
I lost my voice. I got so excited. I was fucking in tears. It was amazing.
Why you can't see me right now, but while you're explaining that, I was smiling while you're doing the whole James getting punched in the face. I wasn't smiling because getting punched in the face. I'm smiling because he came back from that. It was just ridiculous. Watching the video of that, I remember watching. I'm like, I thought he won this fight. Like as I'm watching, I'm like, I was told he won this fight. What? He's gonna lose. He's unconscious because it looked like as he was holding onto that single leg that he was unconscious, which he more than likely was.
It was bad.
He was probably unconscious and not woken up.
After the fight, right? We're holding James. We got him. Like after that, we went to the back room. We're taking off the gloves and everything, and James just goes, "So, what happened?" And they're like, "James, you won." And he's like, "Oh, cool." Literally within 10 seconds, not even 10, maybe even 5. He's like, so what happened? Like, James, you won. He's like, what? I won? Really? The fight's over? He's like, and then what happened? And I was like, oh my God, like that's brain damage shit. I went, oh my God. And he asked that same question for a couple times. And then the opponent came over to shake his hand and say, thank you for the fight. And he's like, oh, how you doing? Yeah. And I went, James, that's your opponent. And he's like, what? Oh, really? What? And I'm like, oh my God, like, holy shit.
Oh God.
It was insane. And after watching that, I'm like, I don't want that. I'm like, if I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna know how to fucking stand up. Like, fuck. Like, I don't want that happening to me.
That's some scary shit, man. That's the last thing you want. Although you know how to stand up now. You certainly know how to stand up because I heard in your last boxing fight you knocked a dude out cold.
Thanks. That was a long time ago. That was a long time. That was literally. That's the reason why the coach wanted me in that Gloves for Glory thing, was because that happened, and really it was just like a lucky punch. But the coach was so hyped up. He's like, Dan, you're ready. You're gonna jump in. You're the next. And I'm just like, no. I'm like,
man, you should have, man, because on game day you show up big time. Like during training, you kind of like fluff around a little bit and you're just chilling. You let guys choke you. You do whatever. When it comes to game day, when it comes to competition day, you light people up. I've seen you in jits, man. You go for that arm drag to double leg takedown, and you send people flying like your name is Kayla. It is cool. It is cool to watch. That's where Handsome Dan Park came from.
Thanks. I'll take the compliment. But
I'm actually Asian dude just taking people down and submitting them.
But just thank you. I'll take the compliment. Going back to that James fight, that was one of the most exciting things in my life. Just watching James scream victorious.
I was
it was so good. It was so good.
I wish I was there. Yeah. I missed that because I saw his fight that he had at Minotaur.
Yeah,
I was there for that one. But like that's when I think he was at the mentality where he kind of expected to win that fight, so it wasn't too big of a deal. He kind of walked in there and bull rushed the guy, got him up against the cage, took him down with relative ease, and then choked him with relative ease. There was no difficulty there, and then after the fight, he's kind of standing there like, really cool. There was no screaming, no nothing. Just like, yeah, well, that's that. I'm so upset. I missed the big like animal scream. Just oh,
it was one of the most raw moments. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, that would.
Fuck, that was good.
That would have been amazing.
Like I'm trembling. Like you might not notice it, but I'm trembling thinking about it.
I can tell. You've gone from being super talkative, just being like, I can't think, I can't speak. That was so cool.
But yeah, aside from that, I actually asked Coach. I want to jump in. I want to jump into a fight, but I want to go the boxing route. I told him, Coach, like I want to jump in, but I want to fight someone that I know is nowhere near my skill set. That I know, like, that I would outclass him. Yeah, 100%. I want that because I want to jump in and I want to, like, kind of experience the cage and, like, going back to that kickboxing fight that we were talking about before.
You want to crush some cans?
Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to pad my back, So going back to, because I think experience plays a big part. Because going back to that kickboxing fight that we were talking about before, I froze. Like, before, like, when we were jumping into the ring, before, like I felt really good. I felt so good.
Yeah.
Like, not even like in jiu-jitsu, like, where you feel the butterflies and you go, all right. I was, like, completely calm. Once I stepped in the ring and the guy said, fight, I couldn't move my feet. Like, I just froze. And until the guy punched me, and I went, oh, wow, like, this is real. Like, we're in a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was, like, that was really, that's where, like, lack of experience shows. So I think it could be very beneficial to be a can crusher.
Well, if you want to make something of yourself, that's how you build yourself up. You crush cans. I mean, and then when you finally after you've got those nerves out, you've got all that, well, yeah, nervous energy out of the way.
Mm.
Then you go up against the real challenges, and then it's like, okay, now let's see what you're worth.
Mm.
That's
But
like
yeah, but the
John
big
Jones went through plenty of them in his early days. Crushed plenty
really,
of cans. Yeah,
I did not know that.
I think his first 10 fights were against nobodies. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I am. I actually didn't know that. Let's take a look. John Jones. Holy fuck, John Jones. Let's take a look.
I'm trying to look it up too, but I just misspelt.
You are correct, my friend. The first 7 people don't even have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, well, look at that. Why, as I've said to you guys before, how come I remember stuff like this, but when it comes to my exams, I can't remember Jack? It is ridiculous. It's like, okay,
Because you
wait,
love MMA, mate.
the first guy that he fought in the UFC, I've got his Wikipedia page up, but I'm not down to his MMA record yet. So I'm gonna say I know it was a Brazilian guy. It was a Capoeira guy. I think his first name started with an A, like an Andre something.
Hmm.
Andre, no. Yeah, was that his first name or last name?
UFC. Yeah, Andre Guzmelo.
Yeah. How do I remember that?
Yeah, you look at the guys who fought John Jones. They're 0-1, 2-1, 0-0, 0-3, like they're cans.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it should be.
First,
And
yeah.
look at his career, from crushing cans
Bang.
to being one of the greatest of all times. If he didn't jab himself in the bum.
Because he built up that confidence. Because if he fought someone legit straight away as he's coming up, someone bang clips him, knocks him out. That confidence is gone.
Yeah. Man, every time I look at that Matt Hamill loss, I'm just like, oh.
Matt Hamill will forever be one of my heroes just for that. I beat the greatest of all. Have you seen his trash talk? He went, I'll give John Jones a rematch one day. I'm like, wow.
They should do it in a grappling match.
That's fucking hilarious.
Did you see the John Jones and Dan Henderson grappling match where John Jones pretty much played with Dan Henderson?
That's when you have someone in their prime versus someone who's a lot older.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Wrestling's a brutal sport, man. I'm surprised Dan Henderson and Randy Couture lasted as long as they did, because how did their body just not get torn up?
I'll tell you how, my friend. There was nothing natural about it. I mean, you know what I mean?
The Vitor Belfort TRT shake?
Yep, the good old Pride days. Where, in all honesty,
his nickname was The Natural. But was he really that natural?
No. I know what you mean, but when they say natural, they didn't mean, physique or anything. They meant like
he's a natural at the sport.
Yes, he's a natural at fighting.
Oh man, to think that he messed up Vitor Belfort I'm going to say the 2 times they fought, because that second time they fought, I don't count. Because that upset me that the fight was stopped via cut, although it was a good stoppage. But the fact that Randy Couture lost his title over that really made me sad.
Man, just going back to Vitor, such a fucking legend. You look at his history, and he fought Sakuraba, he fought Randy, he fought Overeem, he
fought Bobby Southworth.
No, what I'm saying is he fought Chris Weidman for the title, and he's also fought Sakuraba and Randy Couture. These are different eras we're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Let's go through. So he started off. He fought John Hess in his first fight. God knows who that is. But then he fought Trey Taligman. Do you remember him? The guy with one pec.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He fought in Pride, didn't he?
Probably, yeah. I've seen a few of his fights in the UFC. He was pretty good. He was a Lions Den guy, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. That's exactly the guy I remember.
And then he fought Scott Ferozzo, then Tank Abbott, who he beat after.
Man, Tank Abbott. Seriously, look at the difference in eras. I mean, then he fights Chris Weidman. Vitor Belfort was on top.
Randy Couture, Joe Charles. Vanderlei Silva, that was a great one. Then Sakuraba, then he ran off to Pride. He fought Sakuraba, Gilbert Ivel. Wow, okay, and he beat him. Jesus, that's impressive. and
Mm.
then some Asian dude who I can't pronounce his name, and then Bobby Southworth from Ultimate Fighter Season 1. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Heath Herring, Chuck Liddell, Marvin Eastman, Randy Couture again, Tito Ortiz, El Sorovarim. Some guy that doesn't have a Wikipedia page. El Sorovarim again. Oh wait, he lost to him both times. Okay, I thought he beat him. Okay, so he lost to El Sorovarim twice. Then Kazu Takashi. Then Dan Henderson, who he lost to in their first fight together. Then a guy
Mm-hmm.
named Ivan. Then James Zikic, and then Terry Martin. This was his comeback track because remember he left the UFC after fighting Tito Ortiz and then lost twice to El Sovrim, lost to Dan Henderson, and then he came on a comeback where he beat Terry Adam, knocked him out cold. Not Terry Martin, different weight class. Then Matt Linlin knocked him out cold, like dead, and then he fought Rich Franklin, which that made me so sad. Knocked him out because that was his first fight back in the UFC, and then he was out for like a year and a half, and then he fought Anderson Silva, and then got knocked out
And
with that crazy front kick,
mm.
and then he fought
He fought Anthony
Sexyama.
Johnson.
He
He
fought
fought Anthony
Sexyama.
Johnson.
And then he
Yeah.
fought Anthony Johnson when Anthony Johnson was weighing at a light heavyweight weight. And then
Yeah.
then he
Oh.
fought John Jones, then Michael Bisping, then Luke Rockhold, Dan Henderson, Chris Weidman, Dan Henderson again, Ronaldo Souza, Jacare, Gegard Mousasi, Kevin Gastelum, Nate Marquardt, and Lyoto Machida. I mean, he's fought everyone.
Yeah.
He's
And
fought both like the two middleweight like he fought Anderson Silva and then he fought the guy that beat Anderson Silva, but he also fought John Jones. I mean, Jesus.
this, yeah, like a true legend of the sport, like Vitor. Vitor. Well,
Yep,
the,
definitely a legend of the sport. It's TRT Vitor. I mean, do you remember those days?
TRT Vitor beating up Rockhold. That was very very attractive.
His TRT streak was Michael Bisping, Luke Rockhold, and Dan Henderson, all via knockout
Yes.
and head kick knockouts.
And he fought Chris Weidman with the crash system. That's so sad. He would have destroyed Chris Weidman, I reckon.
He almost did in that fight as well. Chris Weidman, after the fight, he said it's because he almost pooed his pants, but I think he almost pooed his pants because he had Vitor Belfort going round one Vitor Belfort against him.
Yeah.
As we all know, round one Vitor Belfort is a different Vitor
Yeah.
to round two. In saying that, he knocked out Michael Bisping in round two, which makes me sad. And that's a fight where my call was if Michael Bisping can make it past the first round, he wins the fight. And after he made it past the first round, I'm like, here we go. And then he lost. Although in that fight, Vitor took it. He didn't have any crazy like outbursts of like explosion. What do you say? He didn't have any like big explosive outbursts in that first round. It wasn't until the second round that he did it, and that's when he knocked him out. Which every time I think of that, it just makes me cry. I love Michael Bisping.
Aside from that, like, man, I'm glad we talked about so many things, and I feel like we can talk so much more. Like, holy shit!
We've only been over one fight in the PFL, man.
Well, listen up, mate. Yeah, that's true. That's the only fight I care about.
Not even the fight of the night.
Yeah, the fight of the night. I think Rama versus Hansley. I agree with you.
Yeah,
that's what you told me before.
Yeah, 100%,
I agree with you.
100%. And fight being stopped via cut, I thought it was a good stoppage because that cut was ridiculous. Like, did you see that cut? His eye, it was about to fall over his eye.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And the only reason why he won that fight was because of the heart. Like, he was getting destroyed and outclassed round one. Like, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he was getting destroyed in round one, and then Rama, is that his name? Rama?
Yeah, Rama.
Yeah, Rama he must have tied out in the second round, and then he just got taken over by Brandon Halsey. It was 100%. Great, but that second round, it was such a good scrap. Like, they were just going back and forth, back and forth. Like, Halsey got the better of the exchanges, but oh my God, it was so just everything they did, like the way that Rama was getting out of mount, he was switching to his back, then switching back to half guard, go and then moving in for like a leg lock, using the leg lock as a sweep. The way he did it, he'd grab onto the leg lock and then sweep the whole body over, so he's no longer on his back, he's on his knees, and he'd spin back around to get back into half guard. It's like, wow, wow, to do that
Whoever's
in an MMA fight.
mm, whoever's viewing this, please do yourself a favor and watch PFL. We're endorsing them.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
I endorse what they're selling.
you can view their stuff at their Facebook. Their events are completely free. I haven't watched the first one. I haven't watched the first one. They have it free, so we should watch it. Maybe. But yeah. But I really like
We'll
what
definitely
they've
watch
done.
that.
They've rebranded well. You were saying?
Yep. Should we go over the point system?
The point system, I find that interesting. Like, I actually didn't know until you showed me it. So, go on.
I could have it wrong because I haven't gone up and researched this. This is just from what I heard, and as I said, I was working, so I could have had got some of the information screwed up a little bit. Okay, so from what I heard, the point system goes. So if you win the fight, winning the fight
Mhm.
via decision, that win alone gives you 3 points.
Yeah.
If you win the fight via stoppage I wrote this down incorrectly. So if you win via stoppage in the first round,
Mhm.
it's 6 points. If you win via stoppage in the second round, it's 5 points. If you win via stoppage in the third round, it's 4 points.
So they're incentivizing people to be active, to get
Yeah,
finishes, and
exactly.
the earlier the better.
Exactly. So it's
Mhm,
not
mhm.
like, okay, cool, I'm winning the fight. I'll just continue cruising on to a decision victory.
Yes.
It's okay, if I can win this via stoppage, I get another point. That puts
I'm
me
gonna.
higher up on the ladder because PFL it seems that they have their own ranking system. So,
Yeah, can you go a bit over that? Because I don't really get it that much.
I assume the viewers of this will be Aussies, yeah. So best
Mhm.
example would be AFL, the ladder. Like
Yes.
when you look at the ranking, the what are you doing?
It's my wrestling gear. I was looking for a while. My wrestling gear.
Oh, you wrestling? That's pretty sexy. Sorry. Okay, going off
Yeah,
topic.
go on.
Yeah. So yeah, if you get a win, you're in points, and that's how it works in most ranking of any sports in AFL. I assume in NFL and all that. It's you gain points, and depending on how you win, like depending on the margin of the victory,
Mhm.
you get more points. So if you win in the first round, that's 6 points. That's double what you'd get just for a decision victory.
And why do the points matter again?
Okay, so the more points you get, if you make it in the top 8 of the rankings, you get
Yep.
put into the next round. So what will the next round be called? The quarterfinals or the semifinals?
I guess I'm not too sure,
Yeah,
mate. But
I'm
yes,
not sure
so
either.
you're eliminated essentially if you're not in the top eight, which
Exactly,
is why
exactly.
you need those points.
Yeah, the more points you get, so yeah, the more points you get put into those brackets, and then you can start fighting to win the. So the prize is, so if you win the grand final, the final fight, you win $1 million. So
That's awesome.
it's not a title that you win. It's a big bulk of cash.
And like champion clauses, now I mean champions in the UFC, like Demetrius Johnson, he gets 300K. He doesn't get a million.
No, he
Like
doesn't.
that's big money for a small league. Like
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's.
big money. Good on them.
I don't know how much they get paid per fight.
That's true. That's where it could be like, oh yeah, the big prize is $1 million. So fighters are like, I'm the best in the world. I'll accept 5,000 to get that $1 million
Yeah,
because I think I'm
it's a
going to
big
win.
risk. It's a big risk. So you got
Yes.
someone like Rick Story who's gone from like the biggest stage where he's probably getting paid what maybe. Well, actually that level of his at that stage of his career probably would have been something along the lines of 20 and 20, 20 to show,
Yes.
20 to win. So
Yeah, but Rick Story believes like he's one of the best in the world. He can win that $1 million. So he'll accept eight and eight, or 10 and 10 to get that
that's what
million
they're
bucks.
doing. That's what they're doing the UFC style where it's show and win. They might just do it like Bellator has a lot of
Flat.
guys who just get a flat rate.
Got you. Got you.
Or a lot of the
But
champions like John Jones has a flat rate because I saw in his fight
yes,
against
yes.
Cormier, he had a flat rate,
Yes.
which is
I
actually
really
less than
like
Cormier.
I really like what they're doing because I like that point system because it incentivizes, like you were saying before, finishing fights. And when finishing fights, it's exciting. Everyone loves to watch someone get knocked out or get a beautiful submission off. And that $1 million prize that can help attract top talent. Like I was looking at their talent pool, like on their fights, and it was really good. Like a lot of, I wouldn't say big names, but a lot of guys with great records in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back through it. Peter sent it to me. But yeah, there's some really good fighters in this. Actually, if you could look it up and send it to me,
Yeah.
send me the brackets, because yeah, well today let's look at some of the big names that they had. Like Chris Wade, that's a good name. That guy's a great fighter. Although he lost, he got pretty easily beaten. Actually, I didn't expect that. And Thiago Tavares, it's a big name. He had a huge tenure in the UFC. Who else was there? Vinny Magalhaes, another big name. You don't remember him, but he's a big name in the jiu-jitsu world. He's a big name in MMA because he was on the Ultimate Fighter, and he had a couple of good fights in the UFC. Honey Marcus, that was an unexpected loss, to be honest. But Sean O'Connell, knocked him out.
Yes, he was getting dominated. He fucked up. He fucked up because, well, they're pretty much light heavyweights. And where he fucked up was he was dominating, right? And it was pretty much the same thing that happened to Cheick Kongo and Pat Barry, where he's going for the finish, so he's just going bang and just standing there, right? But if you look at me here, and they were actually just swinging, so elbows flare up, bad technique. So watch. Do you see something where my head, it stays the same? My head is still where it is, right? So the guy getting punched, and this is what Clay always says, the guy getting punched is just going to keep it bang, and just bang, throw an overhand. Just throw a hook to where your head is. So that's where he's fucked up. That's exactly what Sean O'Connor did. He's going to hit just bang straight away. And the guy stayed there because he was trying to tee off and finish the fight. Whereas what he should have done was go kind of more like bang, bang, move back. The guy throws a punch and then come back. Bang, bang, bang. But it's sad to hear, but a lot of heavyweights lack that simply because they're heavyweights, they're tired. And when you get tired, you get sloppy. So you see that kind of refinement and technique in a lot more lightweight guys. But yeah, it was a great comeback. It really was.
Actually, I feel bad for heavyweights because I feel like they don't get to train with the same competition that the lighter weight guys do, because it's harder to find someone that size to.
Yes.
It's hard to find a number of training partners that size to train with. You can't be training with like for an example.
Yes.
For an example, someone like Lux. He's fantastic.
Yes.
He's a fantastic, his jiu-jitsu is awesome, but he doesn't get the same competition at Scammer to train with because majority of the guys there are say like 75 to 80 kilos.
So going back to what Chris was saying to our viewers, Lux is one of our teammates. He's a heavyweight. And pretty much no one else is a heavyweight aside from Teddy, who's a white belt and is much older, and they're nowhere near the same skill level. So there's no, he doesn't have that same thing that like we do where our size is pretty much the same. So we can all kind of just go at it in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we can all, we've got plenty of people at our same size and of similar skill level that we can all bounce off each other. We can all learn from each other. 100%. We can all go hard against each other, and it's not going to be so bad. But if someone like Lux, if he goes hard against us,
we're fucked. Exactly.
That's just the way it is. So he's got to hold back when he rolls us, so he never gets to train with someone of his level and his size. So so when it comes to the heavyweights in boxing and kickboxing and whatnot, they don't in training. Who do they have to have put it up against and put them up against the cage, put them up against the ropes, and really lay into them so they can get that practice. Also, they can have someone into the ropes and feel what it's like when they start laying into them. Or like
that's really good insight. Something I didn't think of at all. That's great insight. Because you're 100% right. You really are. Which could explain, why the skill difference. Who knows? But you're 100% right. I 100% agree with you. Yeah.
That's
Fuck.
yeah,
Like I'm just trying.
it's something to look at.
Yeah. Like sometimes in the gym wars happen. Like where you just go fuck it and you just start teeing off at each other. Whereas imagine if a heavyweight tries to do that, it goes fuck it. Like even if I guard or anyone tries to guard, it's gonna go through and you're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to hold back. Like gym wars equals to brain damage for heavyweights, whereas for more lightweight guys,
I
you go to a gym war, you're like,
sorry, I keep on cutting you off, but I reckon it's not just heavyweights that at least the brain damage. Like even people like if I hit you as hard as I can in training, like in a boxing match, you're still going to cop some brain damage. If you if you go out, like if you lose consciousness at all, you've got a concussion. A concussion, that's brain
100%.
damage.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm saying the context is different because if a heavyweight does that to a guy like me, I'm going to be dead. I'm not going to be brain damaged.
No,
or hurt. I'm going to be
100%.
dead.
If a heavyweight looks at you too heavy, you're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
But no, I'm talking about like heavyweights against heavyweights. It's not that they probably do cop a bit more brain damage.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think.
But I think the point I was trying to make is that just because they cop,
you get hurt anyway.
Yeah, even people our weight copping punches from each other, you can still cop brain damage. Just because we're not as heavy as the heavyweights doesn't mean the punches aren't doing anything. If you see people at all weight classes knock people out all the time.
100%. Even
and as soon as you lose that consciousness, that's a concussion. That's brain damage. That's something that you're going to take away with you for the rest of your life. Whether it's going to be something that's going to be very super, it's going to hinder your life to a larger extent or not. It's going to hinder your life to some extent.
100%. I agree. Well, on that note, how many hours have we done? An hour and a half? An hour?
Hour and a half, yes. Hour and a half.
All right. Well, I need to go. I'm going to gym.
Fair enough. Just 1 second. Okay, so. Well, we don't have a tagline. We don't have a tagline to end this with, so we'll just.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
What is it?
Thank you, Walt, for watching. We've been sexy, and you've been. What was it again? What was that thing that you said to me?
All right, I'll let you say it.
All right, I'm trying to find it. Well, we have been sexy, and you have been watching. Thank you, and good night. Done.